Okay, so today we're going to dive into something that honestly affects every single one of us, every single night. We're talking about that crucial and I think often overlooked link between how we sleep and how we feel. I mean, come on, who hasn't been there? You toss and turn all night, and the next day, it's like you're just wading through fog, right? Your mood is in the gutter, you can't focus on anything. It's that feeling, that universal experience that really shows you just how deep this connection between sleep and our mind actually goes.
All right, so let's get right into it. Think about mental wellness. We talk about all the big things, right? Therapy, maybe medication, diet, exercise, all super important. But there's this huge piece of the puzzle that we just forget about, and that is simply the quality of our sleep.
And look, this right here, this isn't just a nice little idea. It's a foundational truth. The fact that your mental health and your sleep health are completely tangled up together, that's the core of what we're digging into. You just can't pull them apart. You can't have one without the other. It's that simple.
So, okay, if sleep is that important, what's the actual damage? What really happens when we don't get enough? Let's break down the true cost of a bad night's sleep, because believe me, it's a whole lot more than just feeling a little groggy.
And yeah, this is where the stakes get really high. We're not just talking about being in a bad mood. A lack of real, restorative sleep, it actively pours fuel on the fire of serious mental health issues. It can crank up your anxiety, making everything feel way more threatening. It can make depression feel so much heavier. And over time, it can literally start to chip away at your brain power, your memory, how you make decisions, that mental sharpness we all rely on. But wait, the story gets even more complicated here, because the ability to just lie down and get a good night's sleep, it's not always about your personal habits or your bedtime routine. For way too many people, it's a flat-out privilege, and that's where this whole conversation expands into a much, much bigger societal problem.
And this is the hard truth of it. Vulnerable populations. We're talking about people dealing with money troubles, unsafe living situations, or just constant systemic stress. They are hit the hardest by poor sleep. And let's be super clear, this isn't some kind of personal failure. It is a systemic problem.
So that brings us to this really important question, right? When something as basic to our health as sleep isn't available to everyone equally, well, it starts being about personal choice and starts being an issue of fairness, of justice. If some groups of people are constantly denied the chance for real rest, we are, in effect, denying them a fair shot at being healthy, both mentally and physically. Okay, so we've looked at the problem, which can feel a little heavy. So what now? Where do we go from here? Well, the good news is there is a path forward, but it's going to take a major shift in how we think about and prioritize sleep, not just for ourselves, but for everyone. First things first, let's completely reframe what we think sleep even is. It's not just downtime. It's not just hitting the off switch on your brain. I want you to start thinking of it as this incredibly powerful, active form of natural therapy. Every single night, your body and brain are working hard to build up your emotional resilience, to get you back in balance for whatever the next day throws at you.
So here's a roadmap, a real, actionable plan for making a change. First, we've got to reduce the stigma. Talking about sleep problems should be as normal as talking about what you ate for lunch. Second, we need to encourage treatment, making sure actual professional help is easy to get. Third, it's about empowering people, giving them the knowledge and the tools they need to take back their nights. And finally, the foundation for all of this is advancing equity. We have to work towards a world where a safe, quiet place to sleep isn't a luxury item, but a fundamental human right.
So if you take one thing away, let it be this. You can't have a conversation about a healthy society without talking about sleep equity. It's just that simple. It's on the same level as access to clean water or healthy food. It's a fundamental part of public health. It's all connected. So I'm gonna leave you with this one last thought to chew on. You know, we're always searching for the next big solution to our mental health crisis. But what if one of the most powerful, effective, and honestly accessible tools has been right there waiting for us this whole time, at the end of every single day? What if we started treating rest not as something we earn, not as a luxury, but as the essential prescription it really is?